Hey, everybody. Welcome to the newly revisioned Fractured Compass.
Revisioned?
Fractured Compass.
Oh, no, we've already turned into the Grinch. Not even a minute
No,
into the
no,
podcast.
not even a minute.
15 seconds in.
So, what's going on, everybody? Bree here.
Mike here.
Jackie!
What's up? So, I think you've noticed that we haven't been on the scene for a little bit. We've been on the scene, but we haven't been on the YouTube.
Yeah,
we
it's
haven't
been a little
on the
dry
platform.
in content.
It has been a little dry in content. And I was really thinking, I was like, what do we do? What do we do? How do we evolve? There's a lot of policies coming out at theme parks. There's a lot of policies coming out across the board about vlogging now. Mm-hmm. And, Disney even put up, no filming on the rides, and things like that. So we had to evolve, and we're so involved with everything. Mike, you're getting involved with other things in your life. Jackie and I are getting involved with everything, haunt-wise and rent fair-wise, and still working my job. So we're going to be coming at you once a month now. We're just going to be talking about different things that are going on in our lives, but different things that are going on in the community, different events that are coming up. If we go to an event, we will have footage of that event, but we're not going to be vlogging from that event. Right. We're just going to be coming back and talking about it. Was it fun? Was it not fun? Was it too expensive? We're just going to try to get really real about this.
And can I just say, my favorite thing about Fractured Compass when we did that YouTube channel was just having our little chats, and we would just set up the camera in your room and just talk for an hour about what we were feeling about with the haunt community, theme park news, and just in general, we would just talk. Yeah. And those were some of my favorite videos to do, and so I feel almost like less pressure.
It is. I feel like this is way more fun for all of us, with less pressure. Exactly what you said. Yeah. We're not going out going like, oh my God, did we get footage of this and did we get footage of that? Now, obviously, we get footage of it, we'll get footage of it. Mm-hmm. But I'm not coming home,
3 hours to edit through.
3 hours of editing through because it needs to be up there first. I don't know about you guys, but I can't do that anymore. It's just too much.
It's the true definition of burnout. Yeah. And you got burnout hard with editing, I think, and just keeping up with the demand.
It's the keeping up with the demand.
Yeah.
You have to be first. The YouTube game is you have to be the first person to post it, which is why when we came back from Horror Nights, the 2 years that we got the front of the line pass, or the 3 years that we did it, I was up with you till 6 o'clock in the morning doing POVs and putting the review together. Mm-hmm. It's fucking exhausting, and it's not fun. It's the fastest way for me to go, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. And guess what? If Jackie don't want to do something, it's not happening.
Right? No, it just became almost like homework. I think I'm going to still try this year to do my own personal channel, but if you guys haven't even noticed, I've been posting way less on that channel.
But have you been happier?
I really have been. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
See?
And I love listening. Who doesn't love listening to podcasts?
No, it's true. I mean, we're going to be putting it up on YouTube, and we're going to have footage every now and then, but we might, if there's no footage, we're just going to have these little drawings. We've commissioned an artist that are drawing little drawings of what we wanted to represent as ourselves, and they're going to be super cute, so you guys can stare at that. But if you just want to put it on your car while you're driving,
That's sick.
I'll look onto Spotify.
That's totally a thing that you can do too. Now, I'm not we're not knocking the people that go out there 24/7 at all.
Good for you guys.
Good for you, and I will be watching your videos to see how you enjoyed it and everything like that. We're just saying personally, it's not a fit for us anymore.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle, and we just, for us, we're just way too involved with a lot of things to be able to do that.
The thing too, also, before we jump in, because we have a couple of topics we're going to hit today,
do,
right?
yeah. I mean, don't just think we're just talking willy-nilly. We do have a guideline. Yeah. As I do little quotes.
I like your face too. I wish you guys could see that.
A guideline.
It's very Downtown Abbey.
Yeah, you sound a little snobbish there. But I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, well, I guess let's just move on to the first topic.
No.
I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
It was that, for the most part, when it came to the Fractured Compass channel, you were the planner. You called the shots. You were the one that was like, "This is how I want this video to go," and then me and Jackie would just show up and look pretty for you.
As you guys do. You guys are gorgeous.
Oh,
You guys have
stop
seen them
it.
before. Like, I married into the most amazing gene pool family
Oh,
that I've ever
stop
seen in my
it.
entire life.
You don't talk about yourself
Stop.
enough.
The
girl.
I'm gonna tell you guys a personal story. The first time I went over to Jackie's house, her mother's house, when they lived up in Lake Arrowhead, I saw the senior pictures of her siblings, and I'm like, God, what is this gene pool? I was like,
Mom's
I
sitting
was-
there with her glass of wine. I may not have the smartest kids, but at least my kids aren't ugly.
they were not ugly, and I was like, I was a little intimidated. I'm not even gonna lie. I was intimidated by you.
What?
I was like, God dang.
No.
Stop it.
No,
Literally,
stop
no,
it.
I'm not
Don't
even
believe her,
joking.
guys.
I'm
We
not
are
even
not
joking.
even good.
It's
buddies.
that scene in Twilight when everybody looks over at the Alaskan coven and they're like, God, what a gene pool. That's how it was.
Well, thanks for that compliment.
You're
Compliment
welcome.
City, I guess.
Anyways,
But okay, hold on. Now, can we talk about HHN?
you want to talk about HHN
That's
first?
the first thing that's like
Do it.
just springing in my mind. Let's
it.
just hash that one out.
Yeah.
So, you guys, there was a tweet that was posted,
As tweets are.
as tweets are, and Halloween Horror Nights has officially started construction.
They have. I believe it was called the Hammer Ceremony
Mhm.
that they have. I don't know when they started that, but Murdy did post it out. I took a screenshot of it. Blah, blah, blah. That's not it.
That's Instagram.
Look it
that's
through your
not
phone.
Twitter.
Well,
There
I
we
have
go.
to.
It
oh,
just said virtually, he virtually, because obviously Murdy lives in Ireland
Yeah.
most of the time. So just virtually attended the official HHN 2023 first swing of the hammer ceremony, a fun little tradition our team in Hollywood started a few years back to mark the official start of construction. There was even a bloody ribbon cutting ceremony. Dear God, it's begun. And we did go to Universal a couple of weeks ago, and I was, I'm craning my head around to like look in Curious George parking lot to see if anything was there, but obviously it's too early just yet. But I'm
There's still
excited.
the killer snack stand, but that never leaves.
No, it doesn't. What you probably know, because you're my HHN guru.
Not this year for sure. I'm kind of in the dark, but go ahead, ask
No,
away.
but I mean, like, what they've already announced mazes that they're doing. Or
Yes,
houses. Oh my God,
So we
houses.
know for sure
Here
we're
we go
getting
again, guys.
Chucky. I know it's gonna be a long time before we can finally like distinguish what is a maze, what is a house.
I
But
know.
for Horror Nights, we have to start remembering
Houses.
house.
Another year.
I know. Chucky will be a house at Halloween Horror Nights
Is
this
it going
year.
to be the OG Child's Play, or is it going to be the new stuff that's come out as the TV series?
More than likely, I have a feeling it's going to be the new stuff because that is produced by Universal. The first Child's Play was not produced by Universal. I believe it was Orion Pictures. It wasn't until Child's Play 2, all the way until the latest movie, that Universal took over. I would love to see them tackle the movies because I think the movies are, they're not the greatest. However, I love them still. But
Are you telling me that you don't like The Bride of Chucky?
oh no, see, thank you. I was literally about to say that. Bride of Chucky is my favorite, and I like the look. I like the design. That was a dice, sorry. I'm fidgeting on the table. But I would love to see that, and I want to see Tiffany too. Bree, what would you like to see at Halloween Horror Nights this year?
The Weekend again. It's not gonna happen though.
That was surprisingly good, wasn't it?
Wait. Okay, so The Weeknd was good. I'm not going to dish that. Is the new Evil Dead being produced by Universal?
No, it's not. But wouldn't
Because
that be fun?
Let me tell you, this is going to be a little bit of a segue, okay? Because we can do that now.
Yeah, we can.
I watched the trailer for The Evil Dead, and I have a friend that watched it too. And we were both like, I think we need to see this because we need to push our boundaries on what is scary is. She's not allowed to watch it.
I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch this, and then
Wow.
I
what
saw
got us
a
was
little
the
bit
cheese
more.
grater.
Oh no! So then she said there was a cheese grater part. I can't.
Yeah. So, for those of you guys who don't know, Bree
was intense,
hates
though.
body horror.
No,
She
Bree
hates
horror.
She hates horror in general, which is shocking.
I found this on the web.
Oh, Siri.
This is our first podcast. Can you tell? No, Bree hates horror movies, and I've been trying to kind of branch it out, but I know for a fact you're gonna hate everything Evil Dead because it is so gory, so in your face. You won't like it. You know what I think you would like though? Megan.
No.
funny.
Wait,
No.
isn't that going to be a house?
I hope it is. It would make sense. It was
probably will
Is it
be.
Universal?
it was a hit for Universal.
Okay, yeah, it probably will be.
And you know, it took the internet by storm with her little dance, and it wasn't a particularly scary movie, but I do think Universal hasn't done scary movies in the past. You know, they did This Is the End one time, and that was a comedy.
So speaking of that,
But it's more of a slasher though.
Speaking of the fact that they have done kind of funnier IPs, do you think it is a possibility that Wednesday could be a house?
If it's Netflix, yeah, anything's a possibility. However, hot take, I would hate that.
I'm not saying if you would like it or not. Do you think it could be a possibility? They've done things like Beetlejuice, they've done
Yep.
Stranger Things, which are somewhat more lighthearted IPs. They did not The Last of Us. We'll talk about that later. They did This Is the End, which was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible?
I think absolutely. Also, we have not gotten a Beetlejuice here in Hollywood, so I would love to see a Beetlejuice house before I see a Wednesday house.
Yeah, I agree.
Hands down. That being said, yeah, I definitely think it's possible. Netflix has been very generous with Universal on like lending their IPs for mazes, and I think
Because they did Hill House too. That's right.
Yep.
That was Netflix.
Yep, they did Hill House and Stranger Things, and so I think it's definitely possible. That being said, I would not like to see it. Maybe next year, but this year is just not the year that I would like to see something like that. Speaking of shows I would love to see adapted, The Last of Us. Now, y'all,
We're going to talk about The Last of Us.
we're gonna
gonna
just
talk.
hash
Hold on.
this one
Let's
out.
talk about the fucking Last of Us. If you're not watching The Last of Us, what the fuck are you doing?
So good.
It's so good,
Listen,
you guys.
the video game destroyed me, and the show is destroying me more.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be episode 8 as of this podcast coming out
No, it is not.
for the next.
Are
Yeah,
we that deep already?
next episode is episode 8.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
we're not going to give spoilers because we don't know if people are caught up, but this is going to be the David scene part, right?
Yes,
this is going to be David's scene.
Yeah, and Troy Baker will be in it.
Yes,
Mhm.
he was very prominent in the
The promo.
promo.
Yes, and I have to say, well, first off, let's talk about really quick why I mentioned this. What a great maze Last of Us would be. However, I feel like it would be an extremely challenging maze with the makeup and the clickers. I think Universal can pull it off.
I think they could, but I think it is also very beloved right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Stranger Things. And I'm not going to lie, the second year of Stranger Things at Universal, I was very disappointed in.
Season 2
I
was
would-
horrible.
I
though.
would not want it to fall into that same trap because, man, The Last of Us is a cultural phenomenon right now. It is up there with how Game of Thrones changed the game.
It's bigger than Game of Thrones
Yeah,
right
but
now.
like how it changed how we view TV.
Yeah.
And The Last of Us is a very faithful, and at the same time, they are taking the leaps and bounds that need to be taken. Can a 5-minute walkthrough do that justice?
I think if they
I mean, if we're in Kansas City and that whole bloater scene,
Yeah.
great.
oh, that would be fantastic.
I was like,
don't
you're gonna
think
walk
that
through
they
all the
can
QZ zones.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that they can capture the emotional complexity of Joel and Ellie's relationship because let's be real. The point of The Last of Us is not about the zombies.
It's about people.
It's not even about politics. It's about Joel and Ellie. That is what the whole show is based on, and that's going to be very hard. So if people can go into this house with the expectation that we're just going to see some fun sets and some clickers, I think it could be great. But you're right. It is something that is going to be a little bit more of a challenge.
I do think the way that I could see this working, and this is just, we've worked on events and we kind of have an idea of what could work, is if you showed the outbreak.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on Joel and Ellie, or if it was The Last of Us 2, instead of focusing on that storyline or the current one, that first episode, when the outbreak happened and the planes are falling out of the sky and you've got people attacking each other left and right, that panic, if you could induce that same feeling into a house, I think it could work.
I would also want to see a clicker, though.
Well, yeah.
You would. You
But to
would.
see the progression,
Yeah.
to go from outbreak to maybe being in the sewers
Mhm.
and trying to navigate that, kind of like, what was that maze house, God, that you guys went to? Maybe it wasn't the one that you went to. Dead Exposure?
Dead Exposure, yes.
To have that light effect so that you could see stuff running at you and you could have your clickers and you could have your bloaters, but you could really play off of sound, which
Yeah.
to me is horrifying.
And see, now wouldn't that be a fantastic way to maybe not even follow any sets or anything from the storyline of the TV show, but just set it in the world of The Last of Us, and it is a completely original storyline that they pull from. So you could literally just be like, oh, you are in a QZ zone and there's an outbreak, and that is what this maze is about. Instead of trying to take over Joel and Ellie's journey.
Just make it realistic to what the situation is.
Like, you are in an outbreak
now
in a QZ zone.
Now it's your turn to be the Last of Us.
Yep.
It's not Joel and Ellie's turn, because, spoilers, most of us know what happens.
And that would set the creators free to be able to create whatever they wanted for this house while following basic stuff. Sometimes I feel like with Halloween Horror Nights, when they try so hard to tell the story and recreate the scenes of something, that it kind of gets lost in translation. And I do love seeing some of those scenes recreated, but I really like it when Universal takes chances and big swings. They always tend to... that's when I think their creativity flows through the most.
And I think a good example of that is The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
They created a new storyline for her, and it was probably one of the best houses I have ever seen.
Beautiful house.
It was so gorgeous, and it was really pretty, and it was really scary.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah. And I think something that Universal did right this past season was bringing more of that original creativity to their houses. And I think that's what rejuvenated the fact that we're like, yes, we are going to come back next year, and this isn't just a waste of money, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like The Weeknd, fantastic. Scarecrow, The Reaping, those were two original houses that really were one of the best.
Yeah,
and I want to see more of that.
Even them bringing back like La Llorona. It was
so
an amazing maze.
I know people were like, it's not the same as how it used to be, but you and I had never seen it before, and you had. So being able to experience that for the first time, we were like, oh, now we know what you're talking about. But I want to tell both of you something about Horror Nights. You already know this because I told you this on the way to the car. We went on the hottest fucking night of the year.
We sure did.
During that heat wave in the beginning of September.
Sure did, sweating our balls off.
And when we got there, I told her, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be behind the camera anymore. I don't want to film it anymore. I'm tired of the same damn shit every single year. Okay? I went in with a shitty attitude, and I'm very well aware of it. Okay?
We were well aware of it too.
Yeah, I admit it. By the end of the night, I looked at her and went, "Okay,
we're back on board."
Because they had made enough positive changes for the event to be fun again. From someone who is very jaded and very biased, I don't scare easily. I can get bored very easily, and I don't like the same scare every single time, which is something that can be corrected. That's a different story. I had enough fun where we will continue to go. So, good job, Horror Nights, because I was starting to fucking hate you, and now I don't anymore. God damn it, I'll keep spending $600 on fucking tickets!
It's so expensive,
so
but let me tell you, if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights without an express pass, actually, hold on, pause. Hold on here. I have friends who went on Sundays without an express pass and hit up everything. No problem.
Sundays win.
There is
middle October.
There is a part of me that would love to do that experiment, to like send you out with express passes and then just have me go through on $80, because it's like $80 to $88 for just a regular ticket just to get in, and see if I could get through everything in the night.
But we can't, because we work. Like, we wouldn't even be able to conduct that experiment because we work during the season.
I can conduct it. However,
I mean the first night.
Do you want to go to Horror Nights more than once, Mikey Poo?
No. Actually,
I mean the
no.
first night.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like the first nights, because that's another topic that we'll talk about, that not to push back their opening dates, but Orlando's probably going to go on like the 2nd of September,
which is crazy.
Start in August.
Yeah, which means like Hollywood is not far behind.
No,
you know.
Yeah, for me, the express pass is just insurance. I am paying $300 for peace of mind, knowing I'll hit up everything.
Yeah.
I don't like leaving it up to fate. And so I know that might seem silly. However, I will continue to do it, and that is the horse I will die on.
No, I absolutely 100% agree. Like, I want to see everything, and we went on rides because we were like, we've got express pass. We'll just go through in like 5-10 minutes and like be done. But there's just a little part of me that's all like, what could I do with $88? you know?
It's an expensive... Being a haunter nowadays is a very expensive hobby. Trying to hit up all the horror stuff. Granted, you don't have to. There are plenty of options out there that are not expensive. But if you want to hit up the good shit, the main shit, you're going to be dropping at least about $1,500 a haunt season for sure.
If you go to everything,
And that is...
Especially if you get front of the line pass.
Yeah. And that is exactly why home haunters are coming in clutch. You guys are the unsung heroes of haunt season, because let me tell you something, some of these home haunts are like professional. They're professional level. It's incredible what people are doing nowadays. And even like the yard displays, I did a video, you guys saw it. What a great what a great like date night. We spent all night just literally in one city, Buena Park. I think we also went to Anaheim, but they're like right next to each other. And we spent all night just looking at displays, and it was fantastic. So
I wish I could have gone with you. I do like looking at them.
You're always working though.
I know, I'm always working, but like 2020 when me and Arl and my dad went out, it was really, really fun to see the passion that these people put into these displays or even full mazes. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you, but I feel like that's how a lot of people start now. Because you have to be 18 to work in the big boy parks. So you get your feet wet at these home haunts, and they're fucking scary.
They are. They really are. There was one called, I think it was Temecula of Terror. It was something like that. It was like a saloon theme. And there was a bunch of cowboys, and they set up their garage as a mini walkthrough, and I was like, okay, well, I just got through Halloween Horror Nights and Scary Farm. This is going to be nothing. And it got me good. There was a scare actor that blended in with the wall. Usually I can see that from a mile away. I'm like, there you are. But no, it got me good. And that's where I was like, there's just so much passion here. There's another good example of the passion is Pirates Cave Haunt could not do their traditional home haunt at their house because there was, issues with noise and crowds and complaint. So they actually rented out a spot in Anaheim with another haunt, and they combined their haunts together just to make it happen.
Wow,
that's
great.
Cool.
They officially became a professional haunt because you had to pay a fee at that point. That being said, they moved from home haunt to professional to keep it alive.
Good for them.
Right?
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Good for them, because we followed them for a while. Yeah. That's so cool.
And everything they do is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so good. There's a scene, if you guys ever been to Pirates Cave Haunt, I believe it's in Anaheim, and I'm hoping they're going to go again this year in some capacity, but there was a scene where you walk into an elevator, and they had it on a hydraulic system, and it was just like they had a screen on the side of the elevator that was moving down to make it actually seem like you were moving, and they had, it was just incredible.
Like how Gringotts is in
yes,
Florida? Yeah, nice.
So immersive.
That's freaking cool.
So good for them home haunts. What are you gonna say?
Say it.
You got a smirk on your face. Her smile just got wide like the Grinch.
You had a Grinch smile.
You had a
What
Grinch
were you
smile.
gonna say?
I was just gonna make a snide comment, really.
Say it.
About the depth.
Yeah. I mean, like how the depth should have been.
Okay, well, hey, that's a good segue.
You're all thinking it.
I'm just saying what you're thinking.
Well, hey, okay. I think we've kind of hashed out everything I want to talk about Halloween Horror Nights. Do you guys have anything else?
So the next thing to pop up, which is coming up pretty soon, was out of left field for me.
Yeah.
But Scream Break, Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh yeah. The Fright Fest spring thing.
Yes. So
the first time they're doing this, right?
This is the first time they're doing this. There's some people who are like, why? And there are some people who are like, yes, on board because they just want spooky content. But I'm curious. I don't think we're gonna make it out because of other prior engagements. But
it's fucking far.
I thought you were gonna say because of the drive.
No, it is far, but
that's
not what would stop me from going out there. It's just
I think we
Rent
weren't
Fair.
able to account for it.
Rent Fair is coming up, and we're working at that this season. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, so we won't be able to make it out there, but I am just super, super curious how this is going to play out. If it's going to be something that everybody is going to go to, or are people not going to want spooky content in like this early?
Yeah, I'm
like,
curious.
Yeah, like I feel like some people absolutely will, but some people won't.
I have a point to make then.
Okay.
Reign of Terror usually does their halfway to Halloween, and I'm sure that I'm pretty positive that does fairly well. So I actually think it might be good. And it might be a good thing to like get your palate ready for the start of the season, which, if we're being honest, is June. Yes, your turn.
It's true.
There is something that's going to be year-round horror nights in Vegas.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
And so that is also going to be interesting because, first off, are they going to change it up? Are the mazes always going to be the same? Are there even gonna... There's a lot of questions with that one. I will definitely be hitting up that one. And then, we'll just go to Vegas after and gamble. But it'll be fun. The question is, would we want to go during Halloween time? Or are we going to go off-season?
When is it opening?
Yeah,
Do we have an opening date?
I'm not sure there's an opening date. I just think they announced it's happening.
Because if there's an opening date and it's like
And it happens
June, July or something,
then
yeah, we're just going to head out there and hit it up because it's Area 15. And Area 15 is like a fun house. So I've never been to that. So
Me neither.
I'd want to see that too, along with this event. But if you can hit up Scream Break, it's going to be March 18th through April 16th.
Oh, it's a month?
Yeah, it's a month. So March 18th through April 16th. And you are going to need a special ticket to access it. It'll be after hours access, the park starting at 7:30, and they're only going to have 2 mazes open, 3 scare zones, and then the rides, food and drink and entertainment. I don't know what rides they're going to have open, but it seems like a very small event. And I know that they put in the thing that if you have a pass to Six Flags, it's not going to get you in. This is a special ticketed event.
Well,
Cool.
okay. I mean,
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. Like, if Disney can do Valentine's Day nights or villain nights, and they can just sprinkle that throughout the year, how come Six Flags can't just be like, all right, well, we're going to do a scary thing that's a specially ticketed event? I'm on board. I'm not going to go, but I'm on board.
Yeah. I think it could be something good.
I think the road towards a special ticketed event is amazing because 2 years ago we did go to Fright Fest, and because it's just a mix-in, I felt like it made it miserable. And you had to pay extra money to get into the mazes.
That's crazy.
You had to stand in a half-hour line to get your wristband.
Crazy to me.
Like, I was all like, there was a lot of problems that I saw with the event that could have been just taken care of with a QR code.
And it sounds like that. Yeah, right. Hopefully that'll all stop with this, separately ticketed thing.
Yes, I think the key word there is a separately ticketed event.
Yep.
Right.
Kick everybody out.
Kick everyone out and hard start.
Right.
With a new open. Yeah, that I'm on board with that. Can you imagine if Scary Farm was a mix-in?
It'd be horrible.
Oh, awful.
It would murder everybody.
Yeah, I did So, kudos to you, Six Flags, for taking a page out of everybody's book.
Yeah. But no,
okay, I know you didn't mean that snatchy, but that
kind of
sounded
did.
so
I did.
That was the snatchiest way to say that, and I'm here for it. Ow, my knee.
But we're sitting at our D&D table.
Yes.
It's low to the ground.
And
we're all tall, except for Bree.
But headed in the right direction. Because once you're in, and you just do everything. You're not figuring out what you can go on and what you can't.
It's one of those things where I want to see people's videos and reviews of it before I'm like, okay, I don't want to go opening. But if people are saying, oh, hey, this was good, then yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
What do we got to lose?
No.
I also want to go on that Wonder Woman roller coaster that they opened last year.
That looks fun.
Yeah, I've never been on a single rail.
I know that's going to be open. They did say, ride Wonder Woman, so that for sure will
What
be
is
open.
it, like Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth or whatever it is?
Yeah, something. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
her.
fucking cool though.
Yeah,
I want to do that because it looks really fun.
But yeah, no, that's gonna be exciting. Let's pave the way to Scary Farm.
Not
We
scary.
have-
First step for Scary Farm.
Yep.
March Madness is the 5th.
5th, it is March
5th.
Yes.
If you guys want to go, March 5th, March Madness. I believe Knott's Network has on their Instagram what time photo meetups are. If you want to go do that, go do it. It's fun. I don't think we're gonna be there. I think we're busy that.
You guys are gonna go?
We haven't been in a while.
I was like, we should go to
Mighty
Knott's. We
Pooh,
have
we're
passes.
Busy.
Same, I feel that in my bones.
We're busy.
I mean,
we got shit to do.
We might make an appearance.
Uh,
If we're not doing anything,
Let me
it's
talk to my
Sunday.
agent first.
You never know. I could pop in for 20 minutes and leave.
Bree walking around, not Scary Farm. I still can't tell if this is beneath me.
We have been in the past, though. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
March Madness was the last fun thing we did before COVID.
It's true.
It is true.
We did a little vlog in front of Knott's, like a 15-minute thing, and
We
then
sure
boom,
did,
the
and
world
then
shut
the
down.
world exploded.
Yeah,
That was 3 years ago.
it was.
Wow.
Fuck.
I literally am like, I think I lost a year. I still am like, what is it? 2022? No, it's 2023.
Right?
Good
It's
Lord.
craziness to me. Just crazy.
So there is for Scary Farm a new opening date from what was previously posted. Do you have that?
It's September 22nd.
That one.
Mhm.
Yes, that was pushed back. It definitely, people were taking screenshots going like, it was this date, and now it is pushed back to September 22nd. They just needed more time. That's fine with me, because it gives us more chances to go to other events that are out there before we have to go into working.
Let's talk about the real benefit of starting a week later, though.
And not being
That extra week
the extra week.
kills you at the end of the run.
2021, we had an
murder.
extra week.
It is murder on your body. And don't get me wrong, we're happy to do it, but damn!
Yeah.
You know, that's like an extra 36 miles in the month because that's how much we're running around all the time.
That is crazy to me.
It's insanity. I'm kind of okay with it. It also gives us an extra week to put all of our crap together.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, September sneaks up fast.
Yeah, and also let me tell you, I can attest to that. I don't speak to you guys at all from mid-September all the way till November 1st.
Yeah.
Because you guys are so busy
Yeah, there's just no time.
and exhausted all the time.
I'm working 7 days a week. Like, there's just no time for me to sleep and get up, and it's taxing, but it's the funnest thing ever. And I had trying to make a decision last year. Not that I was gonna quit. I just might have gone in a different direction with Scary Farm. But I had so much fun as a talent last year.
That's good.
That I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back as a talent and just like wreak havoc on everybody.
I also
Everybody
think
that walks through that fog.
it was really fun for me to watch the difference between your rookie year on streets and this past season. Not only did Kitty Cat have sliding pads, which was dangerous as fuck and super fun to watch, but you fell into Diego. You fell into that character. You really, really fell into it. Go ahead, Mikey Poo.
And I have to say, seeing you two like in your element, in your craft is awesome. But there was a lot of improvement. Like your body movements this year were so much more, I don't want to say smooth, but let's just go ahead and say smooth.
Yeah.
They were just more confident, and you knew like exactly what you wanted to go for with your scares. I mean, Jackie, I think you're just a natural out there, but Bree, you are a natural too. I love watching you guys.
Thank you.
It's so much
Thanks, Mikey
fun.
Poo.
Yeah.
Like the first year, people we'll talk about this throughout the months and everything. If you guys want to know like what it's like to really be out there and stuff, if you're interested. But
It's exhausting, but it's fun.
it's really fun. But like the first year, like coming up with that character and like being on the street, I was all like, da-da-da, what am I doing? You know, like I'm all like I've thought about this character, but it's like, what do you do? So the second year, yeah, I was a little more comfortable with him, but I'm just not satisfied with him just yet. And so I do want to do a third year.
Well, this year's the year that you will be. I
I
can feel it
know.
in my bones.
I know.
And that's why I retired the She-Wolf, is because I finally felt comfortable with her, and I went, if I don't retire her this year, I will never leave her.
Yeah.
And I will just, not that it is a problem. Some people have played their characters for 10, 15 years, and they are masters at that craft. That's great. I don't want to do that because I want to try something new, and I want to try something that's really out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that's why I said goodbye to her, and it was really hard. And I think you're probably going to do the same thing with Diego. If you get your spot back, is really, really be like, all right, I'm finally happy with where he is. And we'll see where you go from there.
Yeah, I think that'll be the decision the last week if I'm satisfied with him and I want to do a new character or anything like that. But we'll see, and it's up in the air. Because if you guys don't know the story, like She-Wolf's gone if you were there last year, and that's a big problem for Diego. It's a big problem for my character right now.
I want to see you just turn into a fucking kamikaze.
Well,
I want you.
Mike, I think that's what's
That's
gonna happen.
pretty much
I
the
want you to be a
plan.
monkey
Yeah.
that like got ripped away from his mother too soon. Okay, just be an absolute terror in Bali.
It's pretty much it's called, I'm calling this year Diego's Revenge, and it's he's coming.
Ooh.
He's coming, and we have been out preparing for that body work, and I'm working on it. So I'm excited where that goes. But you guys, it's the 50th anniversary for Knots, and so
Yes!
let us know in the comments or anything down below where what do you want to see? What do you want to see? Because it's coming.
So, speaking of that, though, Mikey Poo, what is on your like wish list for Knots?
Well, I know this probably won't happen, but I would love to see every decade, right? There's been 5 so far. I would love to see the most beloved maze from each decade make a return.
Cool.
So, like, I would say 13 Axe Murder Manor from the 2000s would be great to come back.
God.
Scary.
I would love to see from 2010s, it would probably be Paranormal Inc., but, like, it's just too soon for that. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be fun? But I know that's probably not going to happen. Who knows? Obviously, Bloodlines will probably be making a return. Honestly, though, you know what the biggest thing I want to come back? I would love 2 things. First, I want Silent Disco to come back. And I know that might be like something so small,
No, it's
so
much
minute.
fun.
No one probably even cares about it. But Silent Disco, I made so many memories. And that was just a lot of fun. Second thing, and this is more related to Haunt, I want the Skeleton Key Rooms to come back.
Oh my god, I would love the
You're
skeleton
reading
key
my
room.
mind.
Yep.
I love the Skeleton Key Rooms. I'm sure logistically they're a pain in the ass.
Sure
but
they are.
They were so freaking cool.
And they look so cool on your keys.
Yes, they
do.
We still have all of ours.
I know.
When we were still fans.
Yeah, I
we
would
still
love
are.
that.
You have to be.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be fantastic if, like, and it might not happen, but what if Knots just set on a poll, like, well, what mazes would you guys like to see return in honor of the 50th anniversary? And people could do, like, polls on it, you know? Well, let's see Doll Factory come back. If that's the winner,
Yo.
right?
Yeah.
Yo.
But make
Don't
it like
don't threaten me with a good time.
Spin it a little, change it up,
yeah.
polish it for the 50th, but it's still, like, because I think for the 50th anniversary, it should be rooted in nostalgia.
Yeah. I got you. I'm hearing
The
it.
thing that I
love
kind
it.
of want to see or pitch or, you know, whatever, and it's obviously depending upon, you know, the possibility of auditions and trying to get a spot back and all that, is to see everyone have something gold on them because the 50th is a golden anniversary.
Oh, that would be good.
Because, like, I want, like, Diego, I think, is going to put something, if you get your spot back, something gold on the costume. I want something gold on my new costume. I think that would just be kind of cool. And it would be so small to just kind of pay homage to. This is it. This is the granddaddy. We are the oldest one.
Yep.
So
Skeleton Keys, gold.
make it.
Oh, I just got an idea.
What is that? Oh, is that the waiting to
Yeah,
for it to be
I just got
revealed?
an idea. But he did have something gold on his costume that appeared 2 weeks after.
Ooh, well, I cannot wait
But,
to
yeah.
see what you have planned. That being said, not Scary Farm 50th anniversary. Be there, be square. Obviously, Jackie and Bree, hopefully, probably, will be working. I will be there cheering them on. And so if you guys happen to see any of us, within reason, say hi and give us a little shout out because we like talking to you guys. It's always wonderful.
It is.
There's one other thing that I think I would just like to touch basis on. And that would be, actually, I just want to ask you, because you are the knower of all things. What is going on with the Queen Mary?
Oh my god. Okay.
Bree's like, do we have enough time in this podcast?
Like, we're gonna wrap this up, but in short, the Queen Long Beach is doing amazing things with the Queen Mary.
Okay,
and
they
I've been
are.
reading. They have been sprucing it up, and then they opened up free tours last year. and they were only an hour, and man, they were filling up so fast. I could not get it, but they were only taking you to certain parts of the ship that they had restored at that point, or that were okay. So it wasn't like the entire tour of a ship. You couldn't get on it you couldn't get into every part that you used to be able to. But hopefully they will be opening up like later this year for full things, and if that happens, we are going.
Okay, now can we tell the viewers, for those of you who don't know, why was it closed this whole time?
It closed down during the pandemic for obvious reasons, like everything else. But they went in and they basically looked at the ship, and it was absolutely falling apart. Yeah. It wasn't safe in certain areas for people to go anymore, and so it was in danger of being sunk and just turned into a reef
or dry docking, potentially, right?
No, it costs money to dry dock.
It wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, it can't support itself.
I don't think it could support itself in a dry dock. I think that's how ruined it
was. Oh, wow. So, City of Long Beach was like, oop.
Yeah, and there was also there was a people who owned the Queen Mary, or not owned it or leased it or whatever. Anyways, that was a big old deal, and you can read about it, but they fell through and filed for bankruptcy, and then again Long Beach was like, well, let's just sink it. We don't want to do anything with it, but they changed their minds. They put the millions into
it's
it.
A historical monument. Like,
so
I mean, and it's a warship.
It's a time capsule.
Yeah, it really is a time capsule.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they're doing that, and hopefully they open it up later this year, and hopefully, like, I want to stay aboard it.
Yeah.
I want to hang out. I'll look at it.
Let's hope in some capacity the Queen Mary can have something spooky happening at its events. Obviously, I don't know if that's Dark Harbor. I don't think that's going to happen. Shacktoberfest was there last year, and let me tell you something. It was fun and quirky, but I miss going on that ship. It's going onto the ship, which is worth the price of admission for me.
I agree.
And I would just love to, even if it's not a scary thing, I would love for us to just go there, because the Queen Mary is just such a special...
Story for another day, but one of the times that we snuck over there and we're just running around Dark Harbor and filming, amazing memory.
Amazing memory.
And that's why they're not letting people do that
Facts.
anymore, guys.
Yeah.
But no, it's an open port, so it's like we were allowed to be there. It's just we were kind of like
we got it. And let me tell you one other thing before we end this podcast, because it's about closing time for this little audio
we're at
tour.
42 right now.
Yeah.
If you ever hear from Knott's management or anyone who works at Knott's about two YouTubers that went on Ghostwriter to film a maze, it was us. It was us. And I tell you not, Bree, we did the very first Unmasking the Horror or
Devil's Den 3D?
Yeah. No, we
the horror thing.
The horror walkthrough.
We did.
What was it called again?
Yeah, Beyond the Fog.
Yeah, Beyond the Fog.
Yeah.
What did I say? Unmasking the Horror. What the fuck? And we were going through Waxworks, and our tour guide was like, fun fact, there were two YouTubers that actually tried to film what was Waxworks, and we put up a fake sign, said it was Devil Den 3D, and I just rose my hand, and was like, us.
Yeah.
Those two YouTubers are us. It was indeed us. And I remember that kind of created some issues.
It created a little bit of issues, but then, like, of course, everybody followed suit. And then and we pulled back. We were like, ooh, we saw the writing on the wall, and we went.
And then we went, no more.
No more. And then,
we stopped doing it.
Well, I'll tell you, we are troublemakers. We create a lot of memories, don't we?
Devil's Den 3D was because of Fractured Compass.
Well, I'll tell you.
And we were told by the person who made the sign.
Well, I'll tell you, you're my ride or die, so if I'm going to get in trouble with anyone, it'll be you.
Hell yeah.
One last question before we wrap up, because that was fucking funny. Mikey Poo.
Yes.
B-Butt, what are your recommendations for people to watch or read or listen to currently, other than this lovely podcast? Do you have any recommendations for the next couple weeks that you think people should be watching or catching up on?
I do. So, okay, we already talked about this, but Last of Us, fantastic.
What are you doing if you're not watching Last of Us?
It's on HBO. It's worth the slow first 2 episodes. I didn't think they were slow. A lot of people did, but fantastic. Another thing that I think is probably worth being on your radar is, what's it called? The video game that's going to come out. Resident Evil 4 remake. I am actually really excited for that for the PS5. I know,
Mikey, do you love his horror movie or his horror
Resident
game?
Evil 4 is the best Resident Evil.
and it's being remade for the PS5. So I will
Nice.
be consuming that one. What about you, Brie?
So phenomenal series that I watched just recently was A League of Their Own on Prime.
Ooh.
I think, and as you guys were talking about The Last of Us, like a lot of people are going towards the human story,
Yes.
and not so much what's actually going on. That's the secondary story. So Joel and Ellie are the story, but the secondary story is the infected and the apocalypse. A League of Their Own, it is really much the human story of what's going on in 1940 with a bunch of different people and demographics of people. It is kind of geared towards the LGBTQ community because there's a lot of that. But wow, if you want to watch something that was surprising to me, League of Their Own. Baseball is the secondary story, but the human story is very prominent.
That was a good explanation.
That being said,
Yeah.
the baseball side of it is still really
The
good.
baseball side is very stellar.
Like
but,
if you're like
but
go
yes.
team, go sports, it's still a good.
There's
still a
no
good show.
crying in baseball.
And that is said.
that
is said,
They do
but
have
it-
very
they-
clear hallmarks to the
Yeah,
original movie.
they do have very clear hallmarks, and they do have some of the older casts that are in there for a hot second as cameos. But it is very, very much the human story, and it is a rough ride sometimes of what's going on in the 40s.
I recommend The Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. Season 1 and 2 are out. If you are a D&D player and you haven't watched this, what are you doing? It is so good. It is, and it's anyone that plays will see the stereotypical dumb shit that players do at a table, and it's just so much fun to watch. But there is a very compelling, like you said, human side to what they're doing. And it's really fun to watch, and it's fun to see creators be able to express themselves not only at the table but in a form of media that they all grew up doing and professionally do as voice actors.
Yeah.
So I think it's starting to rain, and I think that's it. I think this is our sign.
Hey,
that
we
are
just
done.
did our first podcast.
Yay!
Hey, high fives all around, clapping,
Yes.
clapping. We want to thank you guys so much for sticking with us and listening. This was fun. I want to keep going.
Yeah. So we're gonna be putting these out the first of every month. So look for this March 1st, March 2nd, as soon as we can get it put together. And then the first of every, so we'll be getting together, and it's been amazing. Wow, this is way fun. This is fun.
This is fun, and
I love
do think that we're going to be having guests eventually as
Yes.
well. So we'll have a fourth person in here to add some spice into our conversations.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
thank you guys so much for listening. I almost said watching because I'm used to saying that.
Right.
Are we still going to do our slogo? Or our slogo?
Our
Logo?
slogo?
Our slogo.
Mikey Poo.
are we
What is
saying-
our
Yes.
slogo? What's
Are
our
we
slogo?
saying our logo?
We should say our logo,
All right. Well, thank you guys. Always be ready.
because you never know your compass will take you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
First podcast. First podcast. We did it.
Woo!